Well, good afternoon and welcome to Fans Banter. Welcome to our preview of Brighton versus Liverpool in the Premiership on Saturday at 12 o'clock kickoff. It's a quick turnaround for Liverpool, and Liverpool really do need to keep their Champions League form. They need to bring it into the Premiership. There could be no more excuses from Arne Slot. The Premiership is what's important now coming up. The Champions League is over for now, so now we're back to the Premiership, and it's very important that Liverpool bring that Champions League form into the Premiership against Brighton at the weekend. Today in this video, we'll be going over a couple of things. We'll be having a look at Brighton's last 5 games, and we'll have a look at a possible team selection from Arne Slot to face Brighton at the weekend. I do believe there'll be a couple of changes. It's a quick turnaround, and I think some players will be need to be rested. And then we'll have a possible score prediction. So as far as injuries, I don't think there's any new injuries to of any note. I haven't heard anything that happened in last night's game. No reports of players feeling any strains or knocks or anything like that. So I would presume that all the players that played at the game last night will be available for the weekend, but it's hard to tell. But see how they get through training over the next couple of days. I presume all the injuries that are our long-term injuries are still out. Well, I know they are because they're not going to be back for quite a while. But there was some interesting news on Isak. Arne Slot said the other day that he was back training a little bit, not with the full team, but still back doing his own little bit of personal training. I presume that's sort of taken up a little bit to the next level. Probably see him back, he said, with the full team in a couple of weeks. So maybe we'll be looking at seeing Isak maybe somewhere towards the end of April. Maybe. Who knows? That's just my opinion. There's no... Arne Slot hasn't said that. It's just my opinion that maybe there's some sort of time scale for him to be back. And maybe towards the end of April, we might see him actually on the grass for once. So let's have a look at Brighton's last 5 games. We'll start right down at the bottom. That's that 3-0 loss to Liverpool in the FA Cup. They had a 2-0 win at Brentford. They had a 2-1 win against Forest. They had that narrow 1-0 loss to Arsenal. And they had a 1-0 win against Sunderland in the last match out. So that's 3 wins and 2 losses in the last 5. So let's have a look and see where both teams stand in the Premiership. There's Liverpool in 5th on 49 points. Brighton are down there on 12th on 40 points. So a little bit of space between both teams. Let's hope Liverpool can increase that points gap at the weekend with a win over Brighton. But just some stats from Brighton from their home games. Brighton have had 6 wins, 6 draws, and only 3 losses so far at home this season. They had 2 big wins, really. They've beat Newcastle 2-1 and they've beaten Man City 2-1. They've scored 22 goals in their 15 home league games while conceding 16. That's a 6-goal differential, a 6-plus goal differential, but they've only had 2 clean sheets at home. So with only 2 clean sheets, you could be hoping that Liverpool will be able to get a couple of goals at the weekend to keep that good form running from the Champions League into the Premiership. Hopefully they can get another win. What sort of team will I think Arne Slot will put out at the weekend? As I said, I think there'll be a couple of changes. I don't expect it to be too much, to be quite honest, but I do think he'll need to change it up a little bit. And here's the sort of team that I think Arne Slot will go for at the weekend. I think in goal he'll have Alisson. I think he won't change the centre partnership, I don't think. So it'll be Konate and Van Dijk. I do think he'll change Kerkez and give Andy Robertson a start. Kerkez did a lot of running last night, and I think he'll need time to recover from that. And on the right, I would go with Joe Gomez, just because I think Frimpong coming back from injury, playing 2 big games so close to one another, might put a bit of a strain on his body. So I would rest him. I think it would be good practice to rest him to give him some time to recover, and I would give Joe Gomez the start. I know that means having our 3 centre halves on the pitch at one time, but yeah, I think Frimpong could do with the rest, to be quite honest. We can't rest Dominic Szoboszlai, and Gravenberch, I think he'll start as well. The player I would rest would be McAllister, and I know I say this all the time, resting McAllister, but he had a really good game against Galatasaray last night, but I do think he could do a rest, and I think Jones will probably get the start there. I think Salah will start out on the right again. Played really well last night. Looked a little bit like his old self. And this is the part where I don't have an idea of what Slot will do. I toyed with the idea of maybe Slot would start YNWA out on the left and start Cody Gakpo through the middle. Now, he has started Cody Gakpo through the middle before, but it's anybody's guess, to be quite honest with you, what Arne Slot will do in this position. He could play Wirtz there and put Gakpo through the middle. He could play YNWA out on the left and put Gakpo through the middle. Or he could just play Gakpo on the left and put Rio Ekitike through the middle. It depends on how the players have recovered. Hugo Ekitike did a lot of running last night, so we'll have to wait and see how his body shapes up over the next day or two. But it wouldn't surprise me if we did see a lot of changes out on the left and the players through the middle. That wouldn't surprise me at all. And I think that's fair enough, because last night Liverpool players ran themselves into the ground. So changes quite possibly. But this is the sort of main team I think he could possibly go with. I'll go through it again. Alisson, Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson, Gomez out on the right. Midfields, Bozzoloy, Jones, Gravenberch, Salah, Gakpo, and possibly Ekitike. So yeah, I think that's the sort of team that Arne Slot will possibly go for at the weekend. But it could change dramatically. I don't know. It's just the sort of how I think he will go at the weekend. That doesn't mean he will. I know he doesn't watch this channel. What? Arne Slot doesn't watch it? No, he doesn't. He doesn't watch us at all. Anyway, but listen, I did get the last night's team perfectly correct. It was the exact team that I predicted that Arne Slot put out on Wednesday night to face Galatasaray. So that's maybe he is watching. I don't know. Maybe he is watching me. Is he? No, don't think so. How am I going to cut all that bullshit out? Yep, that's the team I think Arne Slot will go with. Could possibly make bigger changes. I don't know. We just have to wait and see over the next day or two. I'm doing this on the Thursday because I won't be able to do it on the Friday or the Saturday because I'll be working. I'm not actually going to see the match. I'll have to watch it on replay before I do a match reaction. Listen, that's it from us. I hope you enjoy the game wherever you're going to watch it. Here's hoping for a Liverpool win. Yeah, no more excuses. Liverpool need to take the Champions League form into the Premiership. Listen, enjoy the game. Oh, did I give you a score prediction? Did I? No, I think I missed it. 2-0 Liverpool. Listen, that's it from Fans Banter. Take care. Cheerio. That's Fans Banter.